Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me yet again for another video. Hey guys, I'm back. How many of you remember Miss Kwinana? Namkumbulu Miss Kwinana. Miss Kwinana from the Zondo commission that happened about 5-6 years ago. Zondo commission was trending almost every day. Do you guys remember Amakwina and stuff?
I made an example, a very easy example of the fat cakes. I wouldn't go next door and buy fat cakes and leave my child's fat cakes here. Even if I had a challenge with them, if I have a challenge with them, I would say, reduce the baking powder, add this and this and this, so that it can be to the customer satisfaction.
Ms. Kwinana, what was my question?
Forgotten about it.
Do you guys remember her explaining that the terms and conditions were not part of the full contract?
Chair.
No, but the question remains, how could you have approved a contract you did not know?
Chair, I didn't think that this is a contract. I thought we were approving only the terms and conditions, not the whole contract. The whole contract would have the whole lot of
Ms.
things,
Kwinana,
including the price and everything.
Ms. Kwinana.
And then the terms of conditions.
Ms. Kwinana,
Chair.
you are a chartered accountant. You are a chartered accountant. You have said you approved this contract. Initially, you said you didn't know about this contract. You are shown a resolution. You accept that you approved the contract. Now, what are you saying? You say you don't know the contract. You know the terms and conditions.
I'm saying, Chair, my knowledge of the contract.
Sorry?
I'm saying, Chair, my knowledge of the contract. When Ms. Hofmeyer is saying, I am approving the contract will start from page 1 up to the last page. However, the terms and conditions would be part of the contract, not the whole contract. And therefore, Chair.
Precisely because the terms and conditions of a contract are part of the contract. It is precisely because of that you should know the contract if you say you approve the terms and conditions. What is perplexing is that you say you don't know the contract, but
No,
you know
Chair.
the terms.
No, Chair. I'm saying my understanding is that, as I was saying, the terms and conditions would be included as part of a bigger document. That's what I understand.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, these terms and conditions of this contract, my understanding was that they were the terms and conditions of the contract that was entered many years ago. So now, when you are saying, therefore, the contract was entered into in March 2016, that means, therefore, here you are saying we were approving the terms and conditions of the contract that was entered into in March 2016. But now my question would be, why would we approve only the terms and conditions instead of approving the whole contract?
I mean, Ms. Kwinana, you can't know the terms and conditions of a contract without knowing the contract.
Of course.
Because the terms and conditions are the contract.
She's back into the headlines. She's back. Last year, it was all about like holding them accountable for the Zondo Commission and the accusations and allegations that were thrown against them in the Zondo Commission. It was kind of a continuation. I did not see this one coming. So in the state capture, what she was being accused of was failing to comply with Public Finance Management Act during her tenure, when apparently she recommended 2 auditing firms to audit SAA, and during that tenure, as a result, it was deprived of the opportunity to decide whether it would be in the interest of good corporate governance, accountability, transparency to conclude a contract with 2 auditing firms that she had allocated. So she was basically being accused of fraud and corruption during the Zondo Commission hearing around that time. So the last court appearance around that, she was granted 20,000 rands bail, and she appeared in court in November of 2024, just last year, with regards to that case. So it is still ongoing and under the investigation. What I did not expect was her being accused of being an alleged extortionist, the protection mafia in the Eastern Cape. I'm like, what? That completely threw me off guard. But let me tell you guys what is happening concerning that. So the former member of the SAA Airways, my apologies, SAA board, Yakhe Kwinana, has been arrested for allegedly unleashing a reign of terror on residents, extorting them, and also instructing people to demolish her victims' properties. Yeah, the crimes were allegedly committed in East London, but Kwinana was arrested in Midrand, Gauteng, after being found by a multidisciplinary team comprising of the National Intervention Unit, Gauteng Serious and Violent Crime Investigations, Tactical Response Team, and the National Traffic Anti-Corruption Unit. Kwinana, who is apparently 60 years old, is a chartered accountant, appeared at the Randburg Magistrates Court on Tuesday, where she faced multiple charges of extortion, malicious damage to property, and pointing a firearm. Guys, you know, there are people that are saying that the current government comprises of makinza and gangsters and mafias, and guys, kanti sikuphi kahle kahle sikuphi? Where are we? Like, where are we in this country? Like, kwenzakalani? I did not expect a whole chartered accountant who was a former head of SAA to be involved in extorting and threatening people's lives. South Africa is a movie, guys. It's a movie. So she served as a board member at the national carrier between 2009 and 2016 and came under the spotlight when she appeared at the Zondo Commission on corruption allegations.
Including you, decided to cancel a tender that had already been awarded to LSG Sky Chefs and instead to award it to Air Chefs. Do you remember that?
Oh, Chair, I like that one. And in fact, even before you go further, that is the decision, the cancellation of that tender.
Hang on, Ms. Kwinana.
Sorry.
She has only asked you whether you remember that.
No, I'm saying, Chair.
So at
that
this stage,
decision, I'm saying, Chair, that decision of us.
No,
and
she'll ask you about the decision.
No, that's, Chair, maybe let me first.
No. We are going to waste time if you
No,
answer
Chair.
questions she has not asked.
I want to say this.
No, you will get a chance to say
No, but
it.
Chair, let me say it now before we go any further.
Ms. Kwinana, I control what happens here.
Okay.
I'm saying you are not going to answer that now. You may answer it when she asks you about it. Okay. Do you remember or do you not remember that?
There is no way that I would not remember. That was one of the best decisions that I made at SAA.
Ms. Hofmeyer?
One of the best decisions you made, is that correct?
Yes.
So, a police spokesperson, Major General Nkululeko Pogani, said that Kwinana's arrest ended her alleged reign of terror. So, the suspect is linked to a series of taxi violence and extortion cases in East London and was allegedly always accompanied by armed men when she threatened her victims and extorted money from them. Hypo, guys. What? The victims' properties were also allegedly demolished on instruction of the suspect. So a multidisciplinary team comprising of members from the National Intervention Unit, Gauteng Serious and Violent Crime Investigations Tactical Response Team, and the National Traffic Anti-Corruption Unit acted on intelligence, leading to the arrest of the suspect in Midrand. So currently she was in Midrand when she got arrested, but apparently all of these things allegedly happened in the Eastern Cape. So she's expected to appear in court at East London Magistrates Court on March the 24th. That should be sometime next week. She allegedly used threats and violence against occupants of her land. So she has a land that it seems like she has rented out, and these people perhaps were not paying her rent, so she couldn't get her money back. Instead, she decided to use, she used the crooked way of trying to restore the money back. These are the allegations. So as a chartered accountant, honestly, I wasn't expecting this type of move. But then I have to think again, in South Africa, who's authorized to take credit, to blacklist people? It's major financial institutions. So how do you go about doing this in a land that you bought somewhere in the Eastern Cape, and you want people to pay you back your money or get out of your premises or something like that? I don't know how it works in property, or maybe she needed to use an agent to handle that for her. But how do you use an agent, especially if it's a land that she bought somewhere in not so much like a city place? I don't know, guys. You will let me know, those of you who are clued up in property and stuff down there. But then it's just so complicated how things work out when you are renting out properties, especially if it's property that is not in the city, or property where you are the one who owns the land and you've kind of allowed people to build on that land. How does that work out? You guys will let me know, because in this country, usually people who are good at handling such businesses, or people who are given more assistance and more opportunities to run such businesses, are people, palm colored folks, palm colored people, not so much us. We are still learning all of these things as we are going along. So police described her arrest on Monday as bringing to an end her reign of terror. They're describing it as a reign of terror. Kwinana is accused of demolishing the houses. Oh my God, guys. She brought in the bulldozers and demolished people's houses. This was a bad move. I don't think anyone would be happy with having their house being demolished. So she's accused of demolishing houses of her tenants. She said, I'm not going to wait for court orders and tontons and stuff. It's going to waste my time. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm not going to be waiting on the red ends. I'm just going to go ahead and do this myself. Able, guys. Allegedly, of course. So they're saying that she was demolishing the houses of these tenants of hers who missed rental payments at an informal settlement near East London Airport. So it was also an informal settlement. Wait, jeez. I've seen videos of people's houses getting demolished. It usually happens in Gauteng and Pretoria, where people just decide to live in land that they do not own, or sometimes they are sold stands in land they have no knowledge who it belongs to, and then these people will go around and build houses, and then after a good 5 or 6 years the red ants come and their houses are demolished. So here it's a tricky situation, because Instead of Kwinana going via the court processes and getting the order to demolish, it seems like she decided to go on and do that herself. And it seems like maybe she's not clued up as to how protective the South African law is of squatters and people that get into your property and decide not to pay rent. There are so many steps and procedures and protocols to get out a tenant who doesn't want to pay rent. You can't just demolish their house. There are laws that need it. So as a chartered accountant, I'm pretty shocked, and I'm kind of shocked. And provided that she appeared at the Zondo Commission, that she would go around and do all of this. It's kind of shocking. And if they are referring to this informal settlement, is the land in her name? Does the land belong to her? Those are some of the questions that we'll find out during the trial. So she would allegedly arrive with armed security guards and a tractor loader backhoe to flatten the homes of those who missed paying their 2,200 rent. Kwinana uyang stressa, guys. These allegations led to her dramatic arrest by the police's National Intervention Unit. Gauteng's Serious and Violent Crime Investigation Unit, the Tactical Response Team, and the National Traffic Anti-Corruption Unit in Midrand. Kwinana appeared in the Randburg Magistrate Court on Tuesday to face multiple charges of extortion, malicious damage to property, and pointing a firearm. Police spokesperson Major General Nkululeko Phokani said that Kwinana is also linked to a series of taxi violence cases in East London. She's in the informal settlement, requesting rent from people, extortion, don, protection, mafia stuff. Now she's also in the taxi violence. Why? It's like Umama Skebengu allegedly, like taxi violence cases, guys. My blood pressure. Occupants of the land in East London at the center of the case of alleged extortion told Sowetan that matters came to a head in January when Kwinana arrived with heavy security to demolish their homes of those who had missed payments since last year. One of the occupants, who asked not to be named, said that her home was among those destroyed this year despite conceding to Kwinana's rental demands. Oh my God. One of the occupants, who asked not to be named, said that her home was among the destroyed this year. And she said that she had been paying since last year and was shocked to find her house flattened one day when she came back from work. She says that now she stays with other family members. So the woman who said she had been living there since 2021. Guys, when did the Zondo Commission happen? It happened sometime around 2018, I remember, because at the time I couldn't fully follow it because I had other responsibilities, but I could catch the highlights of what's going on, and I will never forget Miss Kwinana. Miss Kwinana trended. But then, having that light on you coming from Zondo Commission, already now all eyes are on you, or many eyes are on you. You're being investigated and stuff. And you still go and you do this type of business as a chartered accountant.
Miss Kwinana.
Including the price and everything.
Miss Kwinana.
And then the terms of conditions.
Miss Kwinana,
Chair.
you are a chartered accountant. You are a chartered accountant.
But then you go into this type of business, and when people don't pay, you use violence, you use demolishing, you use all of this very aggressive mafia type of approach, and you're a chartered accountant. Not only are you a chartered accountant who's under the public eye because you are being investigated for corruption. The boldness and bravery. Haibo, guys. What is going on in this country with these politicians? and these politically affiliated people. Another occupant said that she found her fridge and microwave outside her gate, and all her other furniture and clothes were stolen. So Sowetan's other publication also reported that the farm owned by Kwinana had been invaded by about 100 families who erected shacks and started building houses. In August last year, Kwinana visited the farm and ordered the occupants to pay outstanding rentals of 4,600 rands for July and August and a penalty of 600 rands. You know, all of this would have been better managed if she just went and got a court order and waited for it, no matter how long it took. Or maybe she was just desperate for the money. I don't know. But the way she handled this just brought more attention and now criminal charges against her. At the time, Kwinana allegedly said that the occupants would use access cards to enter the now guarded property and become tenants. So she had the technology to even use access cards. Or she was thinking about it. I don't know whether she went through with it to make money out of this land that she had gotten. And she couldn't use proper legal means. I don't know. This story is weird as let me not judge. I'm not judging. I just have questions. By the way, these are the questions, and these are my first reaction because I didn't read the details of this story. I just decided, let me bring it to you guys with my honest, fresh reaction to these allegations. I did not prepare in any type of way. I'm finding out this information as I'm recording right now. So in September last year, they refused to pay the rent and approached Eastern Cape Court to oppose her eviction notice. And one of the lawyers representing the community said that the application for an interdict to stop Kwinana from evicting the occupants was still pending in court. So she couldn't wait for it. She couldn't wait. She couldn't put pressure in the legal system to say, hurry up. I want that court order. She just decided DIY mtagabao. It is wrong of her to force them out when the matter is still in court, said the lawyer, who did not want to be named out of safety concerns. So more than 10 houses were flattened, while some tenants had gone into hiding out of fear following months of harassment allegedly at the hands of Kwinana. One of the residents who led to the court challenge said she had to go into hiding after she learned that Kwinana was looking for her. Allegedly, the person that's being described here is sounding very dangerous. People are running for their lives. Now, this person is saying that they were part of the group that was vocal in court. And in December, they were told that Kwinana was threatening to deal with them. Yeah, that's part of the problem in this country. That's why people don't even want to testify in courts. It's things like this. So they said that they left and stayed with relatives around East London and then heard that she had demolished their house and took away their furniture. They have not returned to that place since because everyone is scared of her and some have been beaten by her security. According to the residents on the farm, the land originally belonged to someone else who has since died. They said they moved into the land in 2019. And a few months later, Kwinana came under the pretense that she was also looking for a plot. In 2020, she came back and claimed that the land belonged to her and produced an eviction letter, which they did not know about. Guys, are you hearing this? So basically, she came under the pretense that she was going to ask for a plot from this person who had owned that land after the previous owner of that land had passed on. And then she said, when that person, the owner of the land, came back from wherever they had gone, Kwinana had hijacked them, allegedly, and said that the land belonged to her. She even had an eviction letter from the person who claims to have owned the land before her. So she didn't even buy it. Allegedly. Nami ngiyasaba talking about this. The way it sounds. Kwinana then imposed rentals after that. After hijacking the land, allegedly, she then now started making people pay rent. Those who have been paid rent were given monthly access cards which expire at the end of each month. Those behind with rent were blocked out of the premises. Sometimes the security would assault people and point firearms at them, said another occupant. Kwinana is no stranger to Gauteng courts. In November 2024, she appeared in the Palm Ridge Specialized Commercial Crime Court on fraud charges linked to her alleged failure to disclose that her auditing firm, Kwinana and Associates, had previous contractual relationships with PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and Onki Incorporated. The two companies were awarded a multi-year auditing contract that cost South African Airways about 59 million rands. Kwinana was granted bail of 20,000 in that matter, despite pleading poverty. So the Gauteng National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson Pindim Jodwana said that the NPA only received the Kwinana docket on Tuesday morning when she was arrested in Gauteng, and they had to take the matter to court so she could appear before a magistrate within 48 hours of her arrest and then transfer the case to the Eastern Cape. Hi guys, I'm overwhelmed. Hi, Kwinana. Usenkingeni. But we'll see how her case develops. These are just allegations, by the way. It's fresh news. It's still the beginning. But literally, it's gonna be very interesting. I hope it gets all the coverage it deserves. Guys, let me know what you think about Miss Kwinana's shenanigans. Until the next one, it's a bye from me.